Alright, so this question is about tuition center A and B having different numbers of boys and girls in a ratio of 2:7 and 2:1 and 2:7, and the totals of the number of students in tuition center A to tuition center B is 2:3. So this is how I approach it. Alright, the ratios are as follows: 2:1, 2:7, and the totals are 2:3. Now, a quick look will see that the number of units alright, are very different. 2:1 ought to be 3 units, yet there's only 2 here. There are only 2 here. So what happens is that we make use of the lowest common multiple. Between 2 and 3, alright, it's supposed to be 6, so we will change 2 into 6 by multiplying by 3, and so you will actually change this whole thing into 6. Okay, and likewise 3 as a total, if I were to change it into 6, I will have to multiply by 2. So this is what I do. I times 2, I'll get a 4. I multiply this by 2, I'll get a 2. Now it makes sense. 4 is to 2, sum up to 6. So that's the first cut. Now, however, I have, through the operation earlier on, multiplied this by 3, which is unfair. I have to multiply this by 3 as well in order to be fair. So what happens is that I have actually changed this into a 9, which is well and good, because as you realize, 2 and 7 will add up to 9, and so this whole part, the whole ratio now is being matched. Okay, now we move on to solve the balance of the question. What is the ratio of the number of boys in class A to the number of boys in class B? As you can see, now that the ratio has been matched, the number of boys to the number of boys here, A to B, is 4:2. So A, alright, it will be a 4:2, which actually reduces to 2:1. Okay, notice that if we had not matched the ratio, this would have not been possible. So the answer here is 2:1 at the bottom. Right. Next, we are told that when 6 new girls joined class A, the ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls became 8:7. So we now redraw the tuition center's ratio, and that is actually boys is to girls given by 2:1 originally. Now if it's supposed to be adding on, cannot be seen, 2:1, okay, originally, right? These are all units actually, so 2 units is to 1 unit. Now if I were to add 6 more, the ratio becomes 8:7. Alright, and if I were to continue to use the U to represent unit, then I will have 8 units to 7 unit. Alright, now comparing the before and after, if only girls has been added, boys ought to remain unchanged, and yet there seemed to be a change. So that's where I need to change the 2 unit to 8 unit to match the before and after. Alright, effectively I had multiplied by 2 actually, by 4 actually, multiplied by 4 in order to get 8 units. So what I need to do is I'll multiply by 4 here, and I'll get a 4 unit here. Now we are in business. In comparison, with 8 unit being matched before and after, the boys ought not to change. We only have a change of from 4 unit to 7 unit, okay, which is actually a change of 3 unit, isn't it? 7 unit minus 4 unit is actually 3 unit, and 3 unit is equivalent to 6, and 1 unit ought to be 2. Okay, having done that, we are able to now find out how many girls are there in class A now, and that is basically 7 units, right, being equal to 7 times 2, where 1 unit is actually 2.